Hey everybody, this one is just for Festy.
Bing bang wang, bang boom bang, pow, bing bang bang, bang bang bang, bong bong, ching pong, ping pong boom, ping pong bang, boom bang bang.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Plumes of Hazard. I, as always, am your host, the Angspl Vapor. To my, down below is lovely talented Fu Baga, and right down there to my right, your left, no, other way around, my left, your right, is the Voider of Warnies himself, Mass Blast 09. Ooh,
What do we got, like
Slash.
red light special foo or something? Or
I'm literally just taking the brightness thing home.
Yeah, there. Perfect.
You're gonna give somebody epilepsy, dude.
Oh, yeah, let's not do that.
Can't give it to them if they already have it and have a seizure from that.
Oh, I still have my contrast messed up. What's going on with this thing? There we go. That's better. There we go. But there, fine. Done. Thank you to R Plush for sending that link.
Which one did you play?
I did enjoy it. The Japanese import sports cars
Oh.
versus American muscle cars.
Bing bing pow bing
Bing,
bing
bing, bang, bing, bong.
Wah wah wah.
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that before a long time ago, but I haven't even thought about it in forever. I love the fact that he posted it. I definitely grabbed it. I saw it. I'm like, well, that's the intro tonight. Perfect. Film noir. How we could do that?
Faux noir.
Film noir.
I ain't feeling it today. I mean, I'm just waking up.
Yeah. Sounds good. No sepia. Yeah, no sepia.
Yeah.
There we go.
I asked out
Better.
after work pretty hard.
It is. It's 74 inside, but you'd think it was 80. Like it feels hot in here for some reason. It's because I've got
75 in my room.
yeah. It's
But it's cool. It's only 39% humidity.
if my door was open, it would be fine. My door is not open, and I'm in a little oven.
Yeah, you're trapped in an ass box.
Yeah, door's closed. You got two PCs, three displays running, and then the western sun is right there on the outside of my window, just baking. It's like being in a little mini oven, like a toaster.
You got the windows open.
No, because the window that's in here faces west. I don't want. The blinds are drawn for sure.
All I'm saying is you need some air.
Yeah, do need some air.
So I'm saying if you open the window, even though it is west, it would still help.
And hot. If it was like an eastern window or southern window or northern window, yes. Not the west window. So I was hit up by an old buddy of mine, old paintball buddy of mine, that said, just out of nowhere, he's like, hey, I'm getting some of the guys together. You want to go play?
Oh,
I was like, dude, I haven't even looked at my gear in 10 years.
it's not good. It's no good.
It's, that's the
Any
most-
O-ring that you had, forget it. It's gone. Any tank
tanks.
you have is
Yeah.
not good. You're gonna be spending a few grand getting everything back to the boys
Yeah.
level.
I kept my old custom pump, which is what we always used to play pump, and I kept an autococker, one semi,
All the seals on that are gone.
probably. My tank is well out of hydro. I mean, it's like 6 or 7 years out of hydro, so I had to buy another tank. I had to buy another mask because my mask was obliterated, just cracked in half. And that's about it, really. Now, the only question is, when I go and fill this thing up, are any of the seals going to continue to work? Like you said, my regulator, is my regulator going to be messed up? Who knows, right? So my buddy brought over a CO2 cylinder, which I quit running the CO2 in the early 2000s. Like, I went HPA a long time ago. So he brought over a CO2 can, and I mean, the output on
No, it's way too much.
CO2 is huge compared
Yeah.
to what I'm used to running.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, it was straight bleeding out of my reg, but that's because the pressure was too high.
Sure. Yeah, that's like 900 psi or some shit.
Yeah, I think I googled it. It's like 1,000, maybe 1,100 or
Are
something.
you gonna
Yeah.
fix up your paintball gun and then go on your motorcycle and be like, doo, 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 doo.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna ride all the way. So this guy, my buddy, has got access to some land, but it's like in south. It's south of Dallas, which is like an hour and a half from here. There's no way I'm gonna run around all day, sweat, and try to ride back an hour plus after a day of paintball. It's a terrible idea. It's a terrible
Bad idea.
Yeah. So.
So you're just gonna rent a gun?
Well, I'm bringing all my stuff, and I've got my tank, my airlines and stuff run. All that stuff is up and ready. The only question mark is my valve springs, my regulator springs, and if those things are going to hold at all. So if it doesn't work, I'll just rent one.
Do they do HPA fills out there?
Yeah, they do HP. So my buddy somehow talked in a local field that's near this property that he's got access to. He talked him into bringing out a truck with an HPA fill station with a whole sup air inflatable field that the guy's going to set up on his property, my buddy's property, and then ref for us. I don't know what he's paying him, but I'm sure it won't be cheap.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm guessing, because when's the last time you had that tank?
Well, the
checked?
tank's new. I bought a new tank.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
The other one's like 6 years out of hydro. Like,
Yeah.
it has to be hydrostatic. It's statically tested like 6 or 7 years ago or something. So I
Yeah.
bought a new tank and a new mask.
Yeah.
But obviously the tank is not shipped full, right? It's shipped empty.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, the first time I air it up, that'll be an experience, I'm sure.
So just go like this. You're gonna.
Don't pull a spoon and tear your meniscus squatting.
Oh, I hope not.
The fucking autocockers are such a fucking pain in the ass when they were new and working that I'm just wondering what it's gonna do after fucking 10 years is just sitting.
So back when I was in school and I
You
couldn't
better
afford.
you better have 15 squeegees ready to go because you're gonna
Yeah.
be fucking chopping balls like a motherfucker.
So when I was in school in the late 90s and the early 2000s, I did not have enough money for an autococker back then. But what I did have money for, based on some horse trading, was buying rich kids' boxes of parts that they couldn't fix their autococker. So I would buy it, for pennies on the dollar, fix them, tune them, and then sell them. So I actually made some money that way. Ended up with some pretty nice gear. But I have always been fascinated by the autococker because of that mechanical pneumatic.
Solid pneumatic.
Well, the old cockers, there's nothing electronic about them. It's all mechanical automation,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
I loved. I think it's the coolest thing. Is one trigger pull, fire, dropping the sear, and then
Yeah.
the back part of the pull. And if anybody else doesn't, I'm sure Masty does, but if anybody else doesn't know, the first part of the pull drops the sear, shoots the gun. The next part of the back pull actuates a 4-way in the front, which blows the action back, and you let the trigger go, and it blows the action back closed. It's all within, like eighth of a turn, and tiny little adjustments here and there. But as you get a cocker running, it runs like just screams. It's great. But all the new one, all the kids these days, just little mouse clicks.
Musty cockers.
Mm.
But nah, hopefully my old Sniper 2 works fine. Well, it's not really Sniper 2; it's custom choppy, but you were from the age of boomers, yes. Festy is suggesting that not just a regular, HPA tank, I have to buy an oxygen tank too. not a bad idea, because about half the guys that are out there are of a certain age where
There's going to be a lot more beef on that field than there was 10 years ago.
Yeah, for sure. There's a bunch of kids coming out too, like all these guys' kids. Apparently, they're hauling a lot of them with them. So
That's cool.
This should be fun.
Here you go, Anxie.
I remember Terry Crews built a computer on stream.
I don't think this isn't necessarily how the autococker is, but just a regular.
Oh yeah, that's a
regular paintball.
Yeah,
gun,
it's just a regular paintball, but it's still a cool pick. Here, I'll show everybody what you're talking about here. There was back in the day a great GIF of how a cocker works.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it for everybody else here and share it. But anyway, so that was just always, I just have always been fascinated by that level of mechanical automation. I think it's sweet.
Here you go.
There you go.
You find it?
No.
There you go. It's a YouTube, but.
Oh yeah. No, that's pretty decent, Masty. All right, hold on. I'll get this over for everybody else. Where is it? There you go. I gotta do it again. Dismiss. Mute. So on the trigger pull, you can see it dropping the sear, actuating the 4-way up front, and then using the ram here to cock it back and forth, as opposed to Sniper 2, which is always my main gun. It just replaces all this junk up front with just a rod that you actuate it manually. Perfect. July 19, 2011. That's actually a lot newer than I thought it was going to be. I definitely thought it was going to be older than that.
So much quieter.
Holy crap. Yeah, dude. This is the Timing and Autococker Video 1. It was from 2017. That's shocking. That is shocking. Anyway, so I was impressed by the tech that and the price tag of new masks. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those masks are like $220.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, for a mask.
Wow.
And I'm all about safety equipment. I'm fine with it, but it just, I mean, back in the day, dropping $100 was a nice mask. And these days, apparently not so much. Hey, William O'Neill. What's up? Boop, 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 boop. So we've got some people coming with some serious old school stuff. One of my buddies is bringing a Thunder Pig, which was way old school, like mid 90s or something, right?
What are you using for a hopper?
I've got two old Revos, Revolutions, just the older style motorized hoppers.
What are you using?
Yeah, I got an old Halo.
Oh yeah, those were nicer when I was playing, but I never bought one.
Spring loaded fuckers would just load, just drop balls. Yeah, when I played, I guess people would get mad because I didn't care. I would literally go through 2,000 round cases. I'd spend, freaking $140
$150, yeah.
Yeah, I'd spend $140, in a day.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I carried. I had 5 200-round tubers that I
On you.
carried on me. And that was just like a fucking tank. And, it worked great because I could, I was moving slow, but if people would run out of ammo, I'd just fucking chop them a tube.
Yeah.
I didn't give a shit. I would just fucking I would just sit there and paint. Oh, you're gonna hide behind
Like,
the wall?
oh, fuck you. I spent more money on balls today.
I'm gonna keep you. And see, that's the thing. Like, I was running a cheap gun, and a spider, and I had an electronic trigger, put into it. So I don't give a shit. I was just like, okay, you want to fucking hide behind there, all right? But oh, it's been 5 minutes. This fucker's still shooting. Yep, I'm still shooting. In that time, it would give everybody else time to go around.
To flank. Absolutely. You're just keeping them down. So I had a spider. That was one of my first guns that I ever bought myself, was a semi-auto spider. But I went back to a pump almost immediately. I loved playing pump.
Yeah.
And that's all I needed. So the Halo is really nice if you had something that shot quick like that.
Fast,
but I've always used a pump. So a Revo is plenty, right? It just kept the paint stirred up enough to where it, fed.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't play speedball. Everything that we played was woods balls, because the field was bunkers, and it's kind of like some of those fields that those guys play. What do you call it? What's the thing that Toomey plays? Freaking make believe airsoft. And so dude, there was like this field. I mean, it's a pretty big U.S. field. Out in Palm Bay, because the city ended up buying it and running it, and so then it was lights at night, and they had 24-hour events and like scenario games and all that.
24-hour scenario games are fun,
dude. They're so fun. And a guy donated an old Cessna, and there was like a freaking deuce and a. I mean, there were forts that were built. There were wooded areas that were dense. I mean, it was legit. And those were fun. So, and the scenario games were fun to play because fuck, man, in Florida during the summer, good grief, they just die out there. So
some of those guys that go to that are hardcore into scenario games in general, some of those guys go hard. I mean, full on FLIR, night vision stuff, full on.
Yep.
I mean, those guys.
You might as well start a race war at that point.
Yeah, just about.
Shit.
Oh, that was actually where I bet we were talking about this a while back about unusual names, and one of my buddies that played with us down there, his name was Isidro. I've only met one other Isidro ever. We just call him Duro because Isidro is harder to say.
Did you wear a do-rag with the thing hanging out the back?
A do-rag with what hanging out the back?
With a tail hanging out the back? When you were out there playing? Or did you just wear a bandana on your head? You know what I'm talking about.
No.
Dude, you if you didn't play with guys that did that, you weren't playing real fucking ball.
He's running. It's like sailing in the wind.
Let me find you.
Are you referring to like a coon tail, like a coon skin hat, like Daniel Boone?
No. It's like that. It's like the Under Armour.
Like what Mike Jones wears on his head.
Right. It's like Under Armour.
Imagine angsty with the fucking
panty
do-rag during paint.
Boy, you got a panty on your head.
Just a do-rag and fucking mask. Oh my god, that would be hilarious.
No, I never saw the point of the panty. At least for me, I always wore a do-rag because the reason I'm wearing it is for absorption of sweat and stuff, right? Like I want to get that out of my eyes and out of my mask and stuff.
We figure you're just working on your waves.
Oh, yeah, the esports geeks. I've seen some of those guys, and they look, pretty athletic.
There were a few CS players who were actually pretty good shots.
Yeah,
they went to firing range.
Yeah, I'd buy that for sure.
Not all of them are like feeble nerds.
Not all of them, yeah, and not all of them are gigantic. That is a stereotype on both sides, but that is not always the case. But yeah, their rate of fire was probably pretty solid. even
I
without
think in the
autos.
history of CS, there's been one dumb jacked player.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that was about it. But he was like known for it.
right. That was his thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he was actually good, so there was that.
right. There was a pair of streamers, a married couple, who played Heroes of the Storm. They played HOTS. And they called themselves Heroes of Fitness or something like that. They had like this whole fitness thing that they did on the side, but they also streamed gaming stuff.
So here's let me share my screen so you can see the size of this. You can see my screen?
It says you started. There you are. Yep.
So the park was this whole area here.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, it's big. I mean, so here's the size of a big Florida house.
Yeah.
So this is all the speedball side, and then these are all the bunkers and forts, and everything was netted. So there were nets all the way around.
Nice.
And this was a new one after they took off. Dude, it's crazy. You could see how it's worn down to the sand.
Yeah.
The grasses.
Yeah.
So there's there's an old boat. I think the airplane was here.
Looks like it's
and then
still there.
then there's an old RV in here, and these are all wooded, like densely wooded. This is all wood display in there. So,
dude, the north side of that, it looked like you'd be on a pretty serious disadvantage if you're coming in from the north, because that south side looks like it was all wooded on the back row.
Oh, here,
hard as hell to see.
Yeah. Yep. And then this is like the setup area and all that stuff.
Right.
But we used to play over here, and then it was, I guess, in private property, and then one of the landowners didn't like it. There's still some of the stuff left, but they made us take it all out of there.
made you go away.
Yeah. So
that reminds me, when I was finishing up high school here, there was a field very similar to that, like where there's a neighborhood like basically on either side of it, and that was not a popular place with the neighbors.
All right. There you go. You could see some of it here.
Yeah.
There's the old truck, big old tires.
That looks hot.
Some of the bunkers. It's huge.
It looks hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
It's funny when you say it looks hot.
I can smell the humidity in that photo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's all the bunkers in the wooded area.
Yeah. That's cool.
So yeah.
Sounds
The
like
idea
a house
of wearing
demo.
paintball
Yeah.
gear
The-
in
the-
Florida makes me want to shower.
Oh, dude, it's
Yeah.
and 99% of that gear is black.
Oh, yeah.
None of
It's
it is
like
fucking
here-
light color.
Here, like the fall, best time of year to paintball.
Sure. For sure.
The air is nice. The weather's, perfect.
When I was a kid in the early 90s in Minnesota, you could only basically play indoor, of course, most of the year. And so, running around on concrete, it was so slippery. You could barely even get to a jog because it was so slick. Sliding
Dude,
around.
It was a I think it was freshman year of high school. The first almost a month of practice was indoor because it was a very snowy winter. Like it snowed into March.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it might have snowed into. I think we might have gotten a little bit of snow in April that year, but that shit sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like ground balls on a gym floor because we were using the safety balls, which also didn't help.
Safety balls?
Safety balls.
What are safety baseballs?
Basically, same size and everything, but they're just ever so squishy.
Okay.
So yeah, those also aren't fun.
No, I wouldn't think so. So, I mean, obviously not as squishy as like a racquetball or something, right? It would be.
No.
Yeah.
It's just if you get hit with it, it doesn't hurt as bad.
Mm.
It still hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a welt.
Yeah.
Is it still about the same weight? Or is it lighter?
I think so. Actually, I don't I can't remember what it feels like. I can remember what it feels like, but I don't remember the weight. But it felt different. I don't know if it was weighted different.
Now I'm all curious.
Yeah, because any fielding drills and shit, we were using the safety balls, but we set up like a batting cage indoor thing. That's where you're using the real balls.
Yeah.
Here you go. This is how you play in Florida. This is a picture. Let me see if I can. Let's see. Can I just choose an area? Advanced portion of screen, and then highlight it.
Yeah, paintball on fucking hard surface just.
Yeah. It's tough. Especially, yeah.
Okay, so. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how this was my during my bachelor's party. We went out and played, and I'm in fucking shorts.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like jeans. I'm like, nope, short sleeves and shorts. I don't give a shit. I don't plan on getting hit. So that was fun.
Well, I mean, if you're playing well, you'll only get shot in your mask and gun anyway, right? But
that's where I would get shot. Yeah.
Dude, one of my friends in high school who played lacrosse, his so basically, like, he took off a piece of his shoulder pad because his shoulder pad came up to here, and there's like a strappable piece that would cover here, and then his like elbow/arm pad start here. He took off this entire section of his shoulder pad. He didn't like how it felt, and some defenders knew that wasn't there.
Yeah.
So he was some games he would be fucking all like battered.
Yeah.
Look like fucking need to call child services from a well to again. But he was just like, yeah, it affects my arm mobility.
Sure. I'm sure it does. But is it worth it?
He was pretty good. So
I've never played lacrosse, but any game
it's fun
where it's legal to hit other
like
players with a stick.
Super duper white boy sport, but
yeah,
it is fun.
But pretty brutal too. Like, I don't even know if I can call that a white boy sport because
it is a white boy sport. Are you kidding me?
Oh no, I mean I know by rep it is, but like looking at it for what it is like it's a
it is a sport.
You run around and hit each other with sticks. It's pretty
it's a mix of field hockey and basketball. Like from a X's and O's standpoint, it is very much like basketball. So yeah, lots of picks and rolls and one-on-ones and drawing defenders and shit like that, double teams
and hitting each other with sticks.
And you're throwing a fucking ball 110 miles an hour at a guy.
Right. Thing. That's no joke. I mean, I would say hockey is similar, but it's not really legal to hit each other with the sticks in hockey.
Oh, it's slashing. I mean, there is slashing.
Or checking
in lacrosse.
Stick checking, right? That's no good.
Well, like you can't cross check.
Right.
You have a limit as to how much you can wind up before you hit someone. Because if I just go like this, then it's slashing.
Right.
But what is cool in lacrosse are the one-handed checks.
What was that?
So you can because instead of like checking him like this, right? If he's like the guy with the ball has his stick back here.
Yeah.
And you're D'ing him up. You could just take your stick, grab have it on the butt end, and just go try and
knock it out.
There's another thing I think I saw on Instagram where what defenders are doing is basically doing a blind spin with the stick when they know the person they're defending is going to spin
right there.
When it works, holy shit, it's amazing. You knock the dude's stick out of his hand and balls flying out.
Right.
But if that doesn't work, dude, like that's got to look tragic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very sad. Looks like they're flailing around.
Yeah. Basically, you're just anticipating where he's going to be. But yeah, like they show like actually, I think I missed it last month, but like I think around a Memorial Day they have like the month of May they have the NCAA lacrosse tournament. I catch some of it from time to time.
Yeah. Why did my wake up?
Wake up!
Wake up! There it is. Okay.
What happened?
My Mac went to sleep and then it wouldn't unlock. It is back now.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Better.
I'm hungry.
I went full sugar Dr. Pepper tonight for dinner. Haven't had a DP in a while. It's good.
Don't say it like that.
What?
You haven't had DP in a while.
Well, yeah.
Good.
If I can keep a straight face, him saying that, come on. I just smirked.
It
That's
ain't
all I did.
about keeping a straight face.
I am keeping my straight face. I know he likes the double penetration.
of DP of
That was Donkey Punch. That's different.
DP of peanuts in your DP.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier in Discord. I think I've talked about it in the show before. I think I've talked about that in the show before. About the weirdos from West Texas that I heard drink some of their Dr. Pepper and put peanuts in it, like float peanuts in their Dr. Pepper.
There's just some things that don't need peanuts.
It's weird.
No.
But then C-Death came back and said that that's an old-timer thing with Coke where he's at on the East Coast.
You know what it is? It's white people bubble tea.
White people bubble tea. Okay. Yep. Okay.
He's out of line, but he's right.
That's right. He's out of line, but he's not wrong. Mm-hmm. I like it. I think I might have to call it that next time somebody does it around me. Not that I know anybody that does it now, but when I was in school, I ran into a bunch of like small town guys and girls that they would always tell me, "Oh, I'm from, whatever town." And I'm like, I don't know where that is. Because I had just moved here, like a year or two before that, before I went to school, and they would tell me these little towns. I'm like, I know where DFW is. I know where Houston is. I know where San Antonio is. Outside of that, yeah, I'm pretty lost. Addy helping us out here. He said, looks like most safety baseballs are about the same weight. All right.
And I have a response for
him. Hello, Cherokee. I was like, what did you post? Oh, the more you know. So you mentioned Airsoft a minute ago. I went and played Airsoft a few months ago for the first time really ever. I'd always played paintball. I never played the mil sim, Airsoft thing. But I went with a small group because they wanted to go. And I was like, okay, I'll come with. And we went and played. And I have to tell you, the tech behind Airsoft,
it
is amazing now.
It's. Have you seen that guy that makes those guns? That converts real guns into Airsoft guns?
No.
Yeah.
He's got an old bad idea.
He's got an old Mauser. He's got an old like a grease gun. He's got an old dude, and so he takes like broken old guns, and converts them over to Airsoft. It's pretty crazy.
That is.
I think Toomey posted a video of him doing that, but of that guy. But yeah, it's pretty impressive what they have. I mean, literally, some of the parts are you can put them on a real gun.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could probably swap them out because I was using it was an AR-14 style thing, but it was the feeding mechanism that I was so fascinated with. So the magazine was just an empty, just a hopper, right, just full of BBs, but it had a clockwork thing on the bottom, like a watch spring coil thing to just wind it up basically, and it fed this AR full auto speed BBs without missing a beat. So because the gun was not a gas powered, it was electric, right? Like most of them are these days or whatever, right? So obviously the gun can shoot as fast as shit, but this little mechanical watch spring wind up thing fed it like a champ. Just it would just go.
Yeah.
No problem, which is amazing, really. Coming from the paintball background, right? Your feeding is always a problem.
It's a problem. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's also to, ball quality, right? Because
for sure.
and that was a big problem down here. The humidity.
Oh, the humidity.
These
For
fucking
sure.
things swell.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get jams, and you're having to keep tension on. That's why the Halo is so nice, because you can spring tension.
Right.
Balls getting pushed down in. So.
Right.
But
most of my tournaments were down in Houston, so it's the same thing. It's right on the Gulf, and just damp.
Yeah.
Just always wet. Oh, dude. So Cherokee's talking about 3-gun. He said forget airsoft. He's talking about 3-gun. If you've ever watched somebody play, like, seriously compete in 3-gun, it is awesome. I have never even practiced, much less played in any sort of competition with a 3-gun, but it is pretty cool for sure. If you haven't ever seen one, just go on YouTube. Just Google one. There's got to be a good one out there somewhere.
It's always a Benelli, a Glock, and a fucking DPMS or some shit for the AR.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Get some flavor in your life. I like the cowboy shootings.
Yeah.
Did you see the one Chuck posted a couple days ago? The guy being the world record for draw shooting.
No.
Yeah, it was dope.
That was pretty that was pretty sick.
It was basically pull revolver out and shoot, and hit target. Like you're not just shooting somewhere else. Yeah, it was.
There's a few of those guys that I've seen. What
was that old guy's name? Bob Burnson or something like that.
He's the guy that would shoot
He's the
guy who would draw from his hip, right?
Yeah, from his hip, and he would throw a quarter up and shoot the quarter, and
I remember they did a thing where they had 3 balloons up, and he just went pop, 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 and then
it's just a blur, right?
He unholstered, went pop, 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 and then rehold. Like
what just happened?
Yeah, what just happened?
What just happened? Well, and what's the other guy's? Michnik? What's that name?
McCulloch. It's Jerry McCulloch, I think.
Yeah. Also amazing guy.
Yeah, he's
just
very accurate. Yeah, and he's funny too. And his daughter's hot. So there you go.
Cherokee said Bob is long dead. I believe it because he was
Bob
chicken last I checked.
No, yeah, Bob died a long time ago. I think he died in the early 2000s.
That's possible. Yeah, Jerry M. Yeah. Hey Bart, we're still around.
Yeah, we're still kicking.
We're just a vaping style podcast these days. We talk about all kinds of shit.
Lifestyle
podcast. That's right. I always mess that up. Oh, Addy just posted a Jerry M video.
Yeah.
Awesome.
His whole family shoots. His wife and his daughter.
I thought he had a daughter too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Matt, did I get you chat link?
J, K, and Liana.
A little late now.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably a little late now.
There you go.
My bad. I was busy running that show at the beginning. It came in late. Didn't come in late. It came in just on time.
They compete against each other all the time too. It's funny.
Mm-hmm. Whatever happened to Corey and Mark from Lab Rat?
Corey wasn't a part. Corey was like a hype man.
Yeah.
Mark from Mark's cool. I talked to Mark.
Mark's still around.
He's moving, so that's cool. Corey is a busta.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
You look up bust in the dictionary. Corey's right next to it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot.
And that's all I got to say about that.
He's doing all right for himself.
Yeah. They're good.
Mm-hmm. But he hasn't worked with Fluid in quite some. Like he hasn't worked an independent thing for quite some time. Wow, when did he sell his shit? Like 3 years ago?
Like a couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a while.
All right. What's this going on here? Oh, doesn't matter. All right. We are having a short show tonight because we've all got stuff that we got to go and get done after the show. Thank you, however, for joining us for a random thing where we didn't talk about vaping at all tonight, which is fine. We talked about firearms.
We gotta keep the algorithming.
Gotta fool them every now and then. Just throw out something weird like, cattle.
What algorithms are we fooling with our fucking numbers? Bro?
Cattle testicle bands.
Come on.
Hey,
come on.
Staying under the radar is best.
Cranberry, something or another. Yeah.
It's good in the basement. Kind of do what you want.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. We will be back next week. Same Plumes time, same Plumes channel. I really appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah.
You guys have a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Peace.
Deuces.
Peace.
Beep.